Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm CG. So today I'll be presenting to you guys a new module that JustLogin has been developing for the past year, visitor management. So what is visitor management? So it's a solution designed to manage visitor in your facilities. By using our visitor management, it helps you to streamline your visiting process, minimize effort required to manage visitors, as well as improve your workplace security. So can you recall a time where the visitor were actually unmanaged? So your workplace become disorderly, and you also run the risk of having your important documents being mismanaged. So having effective visitor management, it helps to enhance the security, efficiency, as well as the experience between the visitor and the staff. So why JustLogin Visitor Management? So in JustLogin Visitor Management, we have made some feature itself to allow you to manage your visitor effectively. So today I'll be sharing with you guys 3 main features in our visitor management. First, you'll be able to send out personalized invitation. Second, you will be able to grant your visitor self-serve registration. And lastly, a cloud-based visitor log. So with JustLogin Visitor Management, you'll be able to customize invitation to be sent out to your guests. So with this customized invitation, it adds a personal touch to this invitation to make your guests feel valued. Next, with the self-serve registration, the guests are empowered to actually do this registration themselves to register their arrival. In addition, with JustLogin user-friendly interface, this makes it much more easy for the visitor to do this registration. For the receptionist or the HR themselves, this will actually remove the time needed for you to do this mundane task. And lastly, with JustLogin cloud-based solution, you'll be able to access these visitor records anytime, anywhere. So how can we use this visitor management in our workplace itself? So firstly, registration for a scheduled visitor, as well as registration for unscheduled visitor. So for scheduled visitors, such as clients that you have invited for meetings, and unscheduled visitors, such as delivery from your delivery personnel that you do not know when is their ETA. But before we go with how they do the registration themselves, let's see how we can create invites for these scheduled visitors. So in our visitor management itself, we have this page invite. Okay? So what this page does is it provides an overview of who are the visitors that you are expecting and when are you going to expect them. Okay? And this page itself, you are able to add new invite for new visitors simply by clicking on the send invite. So after clicking this send invite button, you'll be navigated to this page where on the left side, you have to fill up the details of the invitation, and on the right side, there's a preview of the email invitation that you will be sending out to your visitor. So after all these details have been inputted, our email preview will show what is the actual invitation that will be triggered via email to our guests. Okay? And after all this content have been vetted, an invite button has been clicked on, an invite record will then be created in our system. At the same time, the invite will be sent to our visitor via email. So this is how the system create invites for our guests. Next, let me go on how the guest is able to do the registration via our system. So for registration, there are two parts to it. First, self-registration, and second, assisted registration. So for self-registration, for scheduled visitors such as our customer, partners, or maybe interviewee, what can they do? They can simply open up their email invitation, click on this check-in button, and they will be redirected to a pre-filled form. So all these details are actually inputted by the HR or the receptionist when they create the invite. So what they need to do next is click on the check-in button, and their arrival will be recorded in the system itself. At the same time, the system will trigger a push notification to the host or the HR via to their mobile app. So at that time, they can then grant entry remotely or welcome the guests at the lobby directly. So in the case of registration for, assisted registration for our scheduled visitor, such as our supplier or vendors, where they are unable to do self-registration, maybe due to their hands are full with the items that they are delivering, what we can do is, inside our invites page itself, just select on the invite record and click on check-in. Upon clicking on the check-in, you can see that the arrival time is being recorded. Okay? So with the discussion on scheduled visitors, next let's go with unscheduled visitors. These unscheduled visitors make up bulk of our visit in our workplace. So groups of people such as our delivery personnel, which I think most of us commonly use, such as our food delivery, okay? We do not expect them to come to our office on a certain dates, okay? So whenever we are ordering stuff from them, then they are coming. So how can they do check-in with our visitor management? So what they can do is simply scan on the QR that's embedded on the poster that's pasted outside the office. So when they scan on this QR, they will be direct to a similar page for our scheduled visitors. But in this case, all the details are empty because no invites have been created for them. What they need to do, fill up the details and click on check-in. And their arrival time will be recorded. Similarly, a push notification will be triggered to the host mobile. Next, for assisted registration for unscheduled visitors, what they can do is, or what HR or host can do is, click on the Add Visitor in our dashboard and fill up the details over here. But what makes this unique is you are able to specify the arrival time itself. So this gives you the flexibility to create or record this visit even after the visit itself. Okay, so I have shared with you how our visitor management works, and it is a very comprehensive system itself, where we are able to cover different scenarios that were that we face in our actual work life itself. Next, let me show you guys a new hardware that we are working on, the Biocom Access Unit. So this new hardware is specifically integrated with our visitor management. And what is so unique about it is it improves communication between visitor and host, which I will explain in the later part. And next is a seamless integration. Okay, so once it has integrated with our visitor management, and you have this device itself, for unscheduled visitors, you do not need to have them to do the self-registration or create the invites for them themselves. They can just simply scan their face on this device, and we will register their attendance or their arrival. So this device itself provides a two-way communication. Whenever a visitor or a stranger approach the device, okay, it will show a call button over here. Okay? What it does is the visitor can then press on this call button, and it will initiate a call to the host. Okay? And once the host pick up the call and communicate with the visitor themselves, he can then trigger a door open command to our door system to allow them access into our office. To build on top of this two-way communication, there's a call forwarding feature within this device itself. So, excluding the host, we are able to configure 5 more contacts within this device. So whenever the host themselves is unavailable, the call will be forwarded to the next point of contact, which will help to minimize our visitor from waiting for the call to be connected. And lastly is the integration. So as I mentioned, there's a two-way communication where we are able to call the host, the visitor is able to call the host via this device. But how is this call triggered? Because we have integrated this with our mobile app. So it's similar to something like a WhatsApp call, where you trigger this and it calls through the mobile themselves. So no voice call is being triggered from this end. Yep. With all this being said, let me show you guys a demo of how we are using this access unit.
Hello,
Hello, how can I help you today?
I'm here for an interview.
Okay, opening the door for you.
Thank you.
Yep. So in this case itself, you can see that when an interviewee actually approach the office, she does not need to do the self-registration by scanning the QR. With this device, she can connect with the host, and the host is able to grant the access to the facilities for her directly. Yep. With that, I'll end my presentation for visitor management. Thank you.